know, I did predict it, guys. I did predict it earlier on that the MAGA base is delusional, but I'm actually going to title this video MAGA as a movement is a clown show. And so we're going to get into this because I have a lot of things to say. And if you guys have been watching my content, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. If you guys wouldn't like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, that would be very much appreciated. Hit the little bell icon if you want. It'll notify you when I make a video. And then, of course, comment down below. My name is Joey. This is the Jigsaw 0097 channel. So yeah, as I've said in the past, I don't know if was right now. I am a Trump supporter, we could say, right? I voted for him in 2020, and I think he won that election, and I voted for him in 2024. I did not vote for him in 2016. And to be honest, going forward, I might never vote again because I've seen politics for what it is. It's one of the reasons why I don't make slop, as I called it, on this channel. I try really hard not to make reactionary videos, you know, talk about the news of the day kind of stuff, because ultimately it's all meaningless. But, you know, every now and then, guys, every now and then you get a good story, you get a good piece of red meat, you could say. And today is that day. This will be scheduled out, obviously, so you guys will be watching it later. But the video today is that I guess Elon Musk and Trump have had a falling out. And a lot of things about Trump are being criticized now, which I've been critical of these things in the past too. I don't think he has a plan with the tariffs. He did the whole Trump coin thing, which everyone's now lamenting over the coals, which is deservedly. That if you're going to criticize Hunter Biden's art, then you have to criticize Trump coin, because it's a rug pull, essentially. Like, it is what it is. So yeah, Elon Musk, I don't know the whole story either. I know that Elon Musk is a tech bro, and I know that Peter Thiel and Palantir and all these guys, right, are like vying for control. I saw Trump talking about repealing the Patriot Act, but if you read about what Palantir wants, it'd be like even worse than the Patriot Act. And so maybe that's what's happening right now. Maybe that's why this schism happened, right? They're calling it like the Trump blasphemy. There's been some really epic memes about this already. The Trump breakup, right? People are calling Elon Musk like a broken-hearted girlfriend, and Trump kind of seems like he already knew it was coming. He made like a Truth Social basically saying like, hey man, if you want to break up, I don't mind, but don't air our dirty laundry all over for the world to see. And then Elon said, the thing that got this going is Elon basically said, and you know, I tend to actually be on Elon's side here, because I've talked about this all along of why won't they release it, guys? Why won't they show us the list? And so yeah, Elon said that Trump is on the Epstein list. That's why he won't release the Epstein list. And there's some credible happenings, you could say, right? Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, massive disappointments. They went in there and they're saying all sorts of stupid things now, like debunking the conspiracies. Like they're saying that you know, there's video footage of the planes going into the towers. So they're attacking the truthers, the 9/11 truthers, and then they're saying that Epstein killed himself. They have video footage of it, but they won't release it, obviously. And then you have Pam Bondi as well. So Pam Bondi has literally done nothing, really. She has all of these layups that she could have as far as this, like she could be persecuting, right? That's something that's been critical of the Trump admin for me since the beginning is one, where are the deportation numbers? They stopped talking about them after like the first 2 weeks. And then two, where are the arrests, right? Like, why are you allowing these judges to just run roughshod all over this admin? And I said before, it hints that Trump is not a serious person. So I feel slightly vindicated here, guys, on this one, because, you know, like I said, I'm a Trump supporter, but I'm also not delusional like a lot of MAGA I can see a spade for a spade, and I also recognize that Trump is a 90s Democrat. He's not actually right-wing at all. What I've said is that he will lead, he has kicked the door in for the future right-wing. And I made a whole video about that, about how I think the future is right-wing. But this is more of a metaphysical analogy that I make. And Trump was never going to be the guy, unfortunately. That was clearly apparent when they stole the election in 2020. So I've been basically like kind of off the Trump train since then, but you know, it was still kind of interesting. It was like, yeah, Biden is such a disaster. Even though Trump printed most of the money, people need to remember that Trump printed most of the money in 2020 because he fell for the whole pandemic crap. He didn't stop the rioting. He didn't do anything kingly. Trump did nothing to lead. And then he set up January 6th, and he didn't do anything. They didn't turn over the election, and then he got chased away. And we all know what happened, right? They raided his home in Mar-a-Lago during Biden. They tried to throw him in jail like 50 times. They literally shot at him. He's not going to learn the lessons, guys. That's the bottom line. And time will tell, but at this point, I mean, he wants to pass this bill, okay? This is the big thing. He wants to pass the big, beautiful bill. And looking into this, the only thing that even matters is the overtime tax. But again, I've talked about this. Companies will just start hiring more salary. So in a way, this is a trap part of the bill. I'm working a 9-to-5 right now, as I've complained many times since getting it, right? I absolutely hate this job, but I'm gutting it out for the time being. But if companies are encouraged to go salary, then you know, it's the salary trap for you younger guys that have not entered the workforce yet. Essentially, they can work you however many hours they want and just give you a flat rate. Overtime is completely out of the question. So that tax is meaningless for anyone that's not an hourly W-2. It won't apply to a 1099. They're self-employed. They can write off everything anyway. And then the other one is the no tax on tips. But if you look into that, you still have to pay FICA. So you don't really get no tax on tips. These were his two Trojan horses. This was like his way of getting the bill in. But now we're finding out, and you know, this was suspicious for me from the beginning. Trump was really like saying, just sign the bill. He was doing the same thing he accuses his opponents of doing, right? Nancy Pelosi famously said, if you want to find out what's in the bill, you have to sign it first, right? So Trump's doing a similar tactic where he's just like, you need to sign the bill, sign the big, beautiful bill. It's going to save everything, right? Even though it's actually going to increase the debt by 5 trillion. 5 trillion, guys. We're 37 trillion in debt right now. So that pushes us into the 40s. Another thing too, this is where I got to give Elon a little bit of credit, is all of the Doge cuts were completely discarded by the Republican Congress. That's another thing that's happening on Twitter right now, is Elon is basically calling out Trump, saying, listen, dude, you wouldn't have won the presidency if it wasn't for me. Like I helped with the social medias and like, I can't remember the states, but yeah, he helped him win in states. And he's not wrong. I don't think Elon's wrong. I actually don't know if Trump wins without Elon, because again, the shenanigans, Elon is a, whether you like it or not, right? The tech bros, the Elons, the Palantirs, they represent a counter elite. And so if Trump didn't have the backing of that counter elite, then the actual elite right now, which is the swamp that Trump never got rid of, would have just rigged the election for Kamala Kazi. I mean, I made in my Mission Impossible video, they literally were putting Kamala Harris in movies. Like, this was their plan. They were going to rig her in, and Kamala Kazi was going to be the president while the elite bureaucracy ruled. But then, you know, they kind of realized Trump is inevitable, and so they found a way. Like, this is what happened in the first term of Trump, right? The neocons and the Zionist lobby, the Jewish lobby, they got their fingers in him, and basically, it's not to be like crude about it, but you know, they got him by the balls, guys. They got Trump ultra leverage, and yeah, like maybe he is on the Epstein list. You know, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know if he's like if he participated But, you know, I've said before too, Trump is not a moral man. I talk about morality a lot on my channel. We live in a post-morality age right now, which I call modernity. The curse of modernity. Endless LinkedIn, HR, Wikipedia, you know, office jobs. Everyone's gay, you know. All the races are worshipped except for white people, right? Literally just like being a normal person is frowned upon, and this is biblical. So yeah, Trump is a perfect monarch, if you want to call him that. Again, the third term is still up in the air. He's talked about that. At this rate, though, I don't even know if he'd get a third term. We're only it's as of making this video, it's June. It's early June, so we're only like halfway through the first year of his presidency. Like, who the hell knows what's going to happen, guys? And I might look like a fool overall. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Trump has got this grand plan. I don't know. I doubt it, though. I just don't think Trump's that smart. This whole art of the deal bullshit that he does, like, it works in business, but like, if you can't do this with world leaders. Biden tried to do this with Russia when he removed the sanctions, and then the Russians were just like, oh, well, we'll just go to BRICS now, and then, oh, look, the rubles is soaring through the roof. Oh, shit, we don't even need the USD. And so Trump's doing the same thing with the tariffs. It's like, oh, let's just do the tariffs. And then China's like, well, we have all the product. You just have money. That's all America is. We're just a bank, right? America and Israel are like this giant bank. We have the potential, but since the 1970s, they've shipped everything overseas, and then Bill Clinton put the nail in the coffin, and Ronald Reagan. To be fair, you know, I'm not. Every president, basically, since the 1970s, has facilitated this, and you know, I'm not blaming Trump for this, but like, he doesn't have the leverage. Art of the deal would have worked if he was president in the 80s, but he's not president in the 80s. He's president in the 2020s. It's a completely different world now. The old world is basically dead, as depressing as it is to say that. And so, yeah, there's the Trump side, right? That's all out there and kind of cringe. But the Elon side, too, I don't necessarily buy into him. You know, to give Elon some slack here, right? Elon's big in the IVF thing. He's big into the whole, we can just have babies without men and women, right? This is the whole point of the transgenderism thing, by the way. The whole point of all of this gay transgenderism crap is because they want to make us subhuman. I've called it the Blade Runner future. This is what these oligarchs and these tech guys have. They have this dream, right? Elon Musk says, I want to go to Mars. It's a completely hubristic, unchristian way of looking at reality, and it's just as central planning as something like Trump would do with the tariffs. And really, the whole Elon endgame is much darker. The problem with Trump is he's a boomer. So he doesn't quite get it because he's a boomer, and he's going to be dead soon because he's getting old. He'll be dead in like the next 10, 15 years. And so all of this stuff that Elon and the tech bros want to do, like, it's not going to affect him. It's going to affect his children, though. Sometimes I wonder that. Like, does Trump think about his own family? Clearly he does, because he took them over to the Middle East. That was another funny thing. He took them over to the Middle East when he went on his Middle East trip several weeks ago, and he introduced his son, Eric Trump, to like all the world leaders. And you know, you got to call it out, guys. That's all it is. Like, if you're going to criticize Joe Biden for the Hunter Biden stuff, you got to call it out when Trump does it, okay? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be fair. You need to understand that this is a uniparty. Trump is not your God Emperor. As much as I want him to be, you want him to be, it's not the case. It's not the case. So, yeah, there's the IVF thing with Elon that I'm not a fan of. You know, I want this whole feminist disease temple to come down on itself. And a big part of that is the whole manos. I mean, I'm not trying to like throw the manosphere in it, but the manosphere has bought into this, right? I call them male feminists because it's very accurate. They've now bought into this anti-woman, like, we're just going to, because of the divorce laws, we're just going to pretend that we can't change those. Like, that's the funny thing about MGTOW. It's like, you're the man. You can literally just like force this stuff into existence, given the right government, right? And the part of the MGTOW that I do kind of agree with is going your own way, right? Like that's a way that you can opt out, but you can't get into the Andrew Tate of like, okay, I'm just gonna bang women for pleasure now, because then you've basically become the feminist. And again, the problem is the children. Nobody thinks about the children that are gonna be born out of all of this meaningless, pointless sex. Okay, guys? It's not enticing. Like, I don't know how people don't get this. Again, it's because nobody has moralities anymore. Morals anymore. I mean, sorry, morality. Sorry, I'm just off of an 8-hour shift, 9-hour shift. My voice is gone. I'm tired, but I had to make this video. I had to get on here. And so yeah, the IVF thing, right? That's a big red pill thing. Then Elon wants to do Palantir, and you guys should look into Palantir. It would make Edward Snowden blush, because literally what they want to do is they want to do what the Patriot Act did, but they're going to use AI to farm out your data. And if you guys don't know about how data collections work, a lot of data collecting is meaningless, because a lot of the data that's on the internet that people willingly put out there of themselves is like absolutely meaningless. Like you can't really take just data in isolation and like make meaning out of it, right? But this is where AI comes in. So the horrifying aspect of what the AI thing would do is they could program the AI to go through like millions of data. I don't know what the measurement, right? Like just like terabytes of data in like a matter of days. And they can like, you know, then see the data and like narrow it down. You guys have used GPT or Grok. You know what I'm talking about. They'll just keep asking the AI to do certain specific things until they get the results they want. And they're going to get this at lightning speed compared to the past, because there won't be any need for anyone to go and manually farm data anymore. And again, yeah, it'll take jobs, right? Like it's a valid criticism of this whole AI tech thing, is that a lot of jobs will be lost to it. I don't think the machine's ever going to become sentient or anything. I think that's largely fabricated, but yeah, that's the thing, is Elon Musk wants Blade Runner future. Donald Trump wants, you know, the 1990s, but they're at an impasse here, right? We're heading into some kind of future. We're heading into some kind of future that is probably going to be a mix of what Donald Trump wants, what the Democrats want, right? The communist left, you know, and what the tech bros want. And then you could even, you know, there's a big resurgence of Christianity. So we're heading towards a future, and my prediction is that it will be a right-wing future by necessity, because we're just like starving right now. Everybody is barely making it. Like we're all working jobs that we hate. Nothing is fulfilling, right? Like a lot of people can't find spouses. The dating market is a complete mess. Like I said, you know, AI is taking over everything. So out of necessity, there's going to be a strong reaction to all of this. And yeah, I think this is the beginning of the fallout, guys. Like this is probably going to spiral into something much bigger with Trump and Elon breaking off like this. You know, that's another thing, is Tesla stock tanked, right? This is why I don't, not financial advice for legal reasons on YouTube, but this is why I don't buy stocks. I just keep it simple. All I do is buy Bitcoin. Because even if Bitcoin goes down from something like this, it's programmed into it that it will go up at some point. Whereas Tesla stock, I mean, whatever. If people like to play with their money that way, that's on them. So yeah, this is going to lead to something, but I'm not quite sure what it is, guys. But my prediction is that it will be more right-wing. Again, Trump is irrelevant. Elon is relevant in the fact that we're all slaves to technology now, but ultimately, I mean, if you believe in God, I don't think Elon's going to ultimately get what he wants. And so we'll just have to see, guys. But anyway, that's the video. I've ranted long enough. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm trying to push these out. I'll probably try to do more on the weekend. So I still want to try to do the whole schedule. You know, I've got a lot of videos on the table now. When I was unemployed, it was easy to do that. But now that I'm employed, it's like, when do I have the time, right? So I hope you guys like this content. Again, Thank you guys so much if you watched all the way through this. My name is Joey. This is the Jigsaw097 channel. Please like and subscribe. Hit the little bell if you want, and then comment down below. But with all that said, guys, I will talk to you all on the next one.